full Christian 14-year-old, and I'm this freak out, rely on my own understanding guy. And so we had that conflict. She's always trying to speak the word, and I'm like, yeah, but we got to be safe. I mean, there's looters, and I'm hiding hand sanitizer. Anyways, I made this whole thing, and wrote it in April, shot it in May, shot it in May, edited it in June, had it in the market, and it was the first COVID movie in the world. Okay. So this is what we did. We shot it in April. No. We wrote it in April, shot it in May, edited it in June, and then it was on the market, I think, by August. And it was the first COVID-19 movie, actually the first COVID movie ever in the world. There had never been a movie with COVID in it, and it's not about COVID, but COVID's the backdrop.
Too bad we have to have anything about COVID.
I know.
But that's cool.
And
how often can you say you've done something that was first in the world?
No, because the reason being is because you weren't supposed to be filming, for one. And then there was people that were trying to do stuff, but I just did it. I made it. And Amazon rejected me. They're like, we ain't doing COVID movies right now. So I went backdoor through another distributor, and I got it on Tubi TV, and they were like, how'd you get this on here? People got all mad. So yeah, it's true.
Awesome.
It's true. It was the first one out there. But we were talking about where I get my ideas. So I had a bad breakup with friends, and that's a whole story I won't go into, but I felt like I got the raw end of the deal on this side of friends that I was hanging out with. And to be truthful, they were more worldly friends I knew from high school.
Gotcha.
And so maybe this was kind of one of those things that maybe that God was trying to separate me from. But it was a bad breakup, I felt like. And I felt like I was getting the raw end of the deal. And it was between me and one guy. And we had a partnership, and it went sour. And I felt like he really did me wrong. And all the friends that we hung out with kind of just conjured toward him.
Aww.
And they didn't not like me, they just didn't want to hear my story. And I just thought it was really, I just didn't fight it. And so anyways, so I wrote a story about Family First. That's why it's called Family First, the third movie I made. And I'm playing this Marine brother. It's about a bunch of adopted brothers. And one of the daughters is kidnapped. It's not the daughter, my character, but a brother. His daughter gets kidnapped. And anyways, I'm blamed for all this. My character, Keno Marshall's blamed for all this stuff. And he's on a mission to find the girl. But it was to show, and at the very end, I'm not doing any spoilers here, but at the end it was to show that I was revealing it. My character was revealing information that the brothers didn't know about, and it was to protect them, and they were all mad. And so I was putting them first.
Gotcha.
And so I did that because that was kind of how my breakup went. Mm-hmm. I was putting my friends first. Anyways, and so I got inspired to write that story. And it's funny because they all went to the premiere, and I don't know if it hit them in the face when they saw it, but that's what that was about. And then
they're all probably sitting there.
Now, okay, so
jeez.
This is a true story. And Kevin, if you're watching, I hope you're watching. Kevin Sorbo was at the International Christian Film Festival. He goes every year. He lives in Orlando. I went first time in 2001 for COVID-19 response. I was being nominated for Best Actor. And my daughter too, Best Actress. We dual. Yeah, it was crazy.
Oh, that's awesome.
And we went down there, and we went to the opening party. We made a whole thing of it, me, my wife, and my daughter. And went to the opening party, and Kevin was there, and a bunch of actors were there. And after the party, Kevin Sorbo was having because he had a documentary he was in, and he went to the main room where he was showing his documentary. Mm-hmm. So a lot of people were kind of conjuring out of there and running over to that room. And I remember when we were walking out, we were just kind of dilly-dallying out because we had such a good time. People were like, go this way. You should know where we're going. And they're like, they're having a documentary in there, and they were trying to get people in there. And so I walked in there, and Kevin's up front, and because Angie, my wife, and I were just going with the flow, like, hey, let's go in here, we didn't care. But I was like, oh, Kevin. And I'm like, well, let's sit right up front. So we sat right up front. Like, Kevin me, you know, because I'm fearless. I want to hear what he has to say. So I didn't know what we were in there for, and then I found out it was a documentary. He was going to show a documentary, but Kevin, he was like, "It's true, Kevin. I know you said this." He was like, "You guys better hurry up and get in here. I'm going to leave," because nobody was getting in there fast enough.
No.
And I know people are going to hate me. Like, I'm always so honest, but it's just the truth. That's what happened. I don't think he meant any harm, but that's what happened. So, anyways, he was taking some time while people came in, and he was talking about some movies he was doing, and he mentioned Left Behind. So I got excited. I was like, ooh, pick me over here, because I raised my hand, and I said, hey, are you gonna make more than one? Are you gonna like actually make a whole series? I said, because I'm a fan of the books, a fan of the Kirk Cameron movies. They just never finish them, you know. He goes, well, we plan on it. We plan on making at least 3, and I'm directing it. And I'm like, ooh, okay, cool. The next day, he was out doing autographs, and I planned it. So the wife was out doing, just doing showings and, you know, watching some movies and stuff. And I was waiting for that line to die down, and I was going to make a move. So it did. It died down. I went up there and I said, hey, Kev. And he had, you know, I bought a movie. I did buy a movie, and it was one of my favorite.
So you're on
anyway, it's called What If.
terms?
What If is a good movie. That was good. Have you ever seen What If? Kevin Sorbo, Christy Swanson.
No, I don't think so.
It's a good one. Okay, anyways.
I'll have to look it up though. I'll watch it.
Anyways, I just was boldly honest. I said, hey, do you remember me from yesterday? He goes, oh yeah, Left Behind. I go, yeah. I said, look, that's my all-time favorite series of all time. I said, that touched my heart. And I said, I actually gave my life to Christ because of the Left Behind movie. That's a true story. That's part of my testimony. I'll share another time. It's my uncle. He got me into it. So anyways, I said, listen, I said, I'm an actor, and I'm here for being nominated Best Actor. I said, I just want to know if I can have an opportunity to fail. That's what I said. An opportunity to fail. Can I audition for since you're directing it? And he goes, we're going to be shooting in Louisiana. I go, I don't care where we're shooting. I go, I just want an opportunity. That's it. And he's like, yeah. So Kevin pulls out his...
I'm doing it the wrong way, y'all.
piece of paper and a pen. Well, let me tell you the end of the story. So Kevin pulls out a piece of paper and a pen, and he goes, write down all your information, project, your email, everything. You got it. So wrote it all down, Left Behind, injury, all this stuff. And I was like, man, I'm really excited about this. I really appreciate it. And, you know, I just want that opportunity to fail, you know, just because this project means so much to me. And he's like, well, be ready, you know, reach out to you. Cool. 6 months go down the road. My friend Sean, if you're watching this, he sends me a link, hits my messenger, and it's the trailer for Left Behind. And I watched it, and I'm like, oh, you already filmed it. It broke my heart. Now,
you got Left Behind.
Now, there's two sides of this. Some people will say, Andrew, did you think he was going to actually... And I say, well, what does it say in Matthew? Let your yes be yes and your no be no. Like, he didn't have to say that, you know? Yeah. But he did. And his word didn't mean anything. And Kevin, I love you, but that's the truth. Your word didn't mean anything that day. But this is what happened. And I'm actually thanking Kevin. He doesn't know yet. If you're watching, Kevin, stay to the end.
Stay to the end,
because
Kevin, please.
You launched
and don't be mad at me.
You launched my idea. So I went on a... you can edit this out if you want. I swear I'm gonna... I don't know, who knows? Maybe you'll get all the views because some guy's exposing. I'm just being honest, but Sean and I, the same guy sent me the link. We went on just a guys' camping trip. Couldn't get the other guys to come, so just him and I. We were supposed to do a guys' retreat, but we just went camping, him and me, with our Bibles, nothing else. We went out the woods, and it's like, Sean, I was like, man, I got to come up with a new idea. I got to make another movie. I don't know what it is, but I want to do something in the vein of the end times. I need to make my own Left Behind. I'm like, forget this Kevin thing. Like, I mean, we were talking about it because he knew the story. I was like, I just wanted the opportunity to audition and fail, and I didn't get it. But that's when Left Behind was, or before it happened, was born. Mm-hmm. And so I thought, man, I have to be careful. If anybody watches this movie, I wanted to do something different. Left Behind is about a couple characters, rapture happens, and then they have to figure out how they're going to live in the tribulation period. I didn't want to do that before it happened. I wanted to do something different. I took a huge risk on this. I wanted to make people think they were watching a movie about one thing and then shock them. In the end, it was about something else.
Okay.
Now, have you seen Before It Happened?
Mm-hmm. And
Okay.
Before It Happened is the name of his
It's
film.
the prequel to After.
So just to let you all
So
know.
I got to be careful. I guess I should have stopped there because that's what I did. And so the story is about Eli Jenkins, who's obsessed with his work. He had a breakout, he had a partnership gone wrong, like his partner, what do you call it? A fight? I don't know. I can't think of the word right now.
Argument.
An argument. A falling out. That's the word.
Disagreement.
We had a falling
out.
out. And anyways, I'm just the striving, break the rules detective, but he gets it done, and he gets in trouble and suspended because he broke the rules. But even though he saved a girl, he gets in trouble and gets suspended. But during that suspension, he gets called in by the lieutenant, and he says, "Hey, I need you to go and find my brother," which is his ex-partner. He's like, no, that ain't happening. That guy left us high and dry. And he's like, no. He's like, and he blurts it out. He's the lieutenant. He says, "I'm dying." And he stops it in his tracks. And he says, "What?" And he's like, "I'm dying." He's like, stage 4 cancer, all this stuff. And so Eli feels reluctant to go find Bobby. And so that's the story. He goes on this journey to find Bobby. When he finds him, he's caught up in all sorts of mess. And they go on this journey. And he's doing it because Eli is doing it because he just wants a promotion. It's all about the job. Everything's about the job. And he's obsessed with the job because something that had happened. But,
So Eli's a jerk.
But the idea was, for this story, was I saw too many Americans, people, being obsessed with their work. Including actors, including filmmakers, including myself at moments in my career where I'm like, it's all about this, and it's not about this. If you're a believer, it's not about that. There's a bigger picture. Like, this is just boot camp for us. It's not about this life. And so I wanted to show how everybody is Eli Jenkins. They're trying to get this thing. They're trying to get this thing. In the very end, he doesn't get his thing, and then he misses the boat, and he's left, and then he gets his thing. But now he doesn't want the thing. You see how that is impacting? So when I had this I played it at a local church at home in Oregon where I used to live. And there was probably 300 or 400 people. It wasn't, a whole, that's a lot, but it wasn't like 1,000 or anything like that. It was complete silence. The very ending of the story was, did you know this was going to happen? I thought it was a fairy tale. How come nobody told me? Black screen. Well, do you know? I left him with that question. How come nobody told me? Nobody's talking about this stuff. And that's where that got inspired. I wanted to do a different Left Behind, so I did. And I thought, okay, God, I obeyed you. I made this movie. What do I do with it? I couldn't get anybody to buy it. PureFlix wanted it. I went to the same festival. Be careful here. Same festival 2 years later, and I talked to, I will not mention names, one of the heads of PureFlix, and he came up to me. I didn't come up to him, and he said, "Hey, I have been reviewing your movie," and he said, because I had submitted it to him, and he goes, "We want it, but we gotta wait for a little bit of time, but we definitely want it." I was like, "Cool, let's talk later."
Yeah, whenever you're ready.
I saw this person in the pitch room, talked to him then. I had emailed him 6 months later, 6 months later, 6 months later. Never happened. So I said, "Okay, God, PureFlix didn't want it." I had went through the Angel Studios program before I made the movie, and they didn't want it. I got to be careful.
Well,
Because the truth of the matter is, I got laughed to scorn on that one. They didn't want an end time series. They didn't believe in the rapture of the church. They didn't believe in any of that stuff coming from Angel Studios. So I still got the notes. It was brutal. And I said, okay, you don't want it either. So a nice man called Rich Cristiano and the Cristiano Film Group, the OGs, they reached out to me and said, "Yeah, we want your thing." And I threw it on YouTube, and in the first month, it made 300,000 views. And I was like, "Okay, there's something here." And it's pushing 750 right now, 750,000. But it told me I had something. I was like,
It's
okay. I'm like,
Jonathan and I really enjoyed it.
You watched it. Jonathan?
Yeah,
the man behind the camera.
Man behind the camera, yeah.
I appreciate you. But that idea was all because I just wanted to do something in Timesy. Kevin, thank you, by the way. And I wanted the world to see Eli chasing something that didn't matter. It didn't matter. What he was chasing. That promotion, that extra oomph in life. And, they're great things. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. Even David, when he killed the Goliath, right? Like, he didn't become king overnight. Like, he went through a long thing. So I made that, and then I made a movie called Piercing Wounds, and I just wanted to make a love story. So that was about 3 broken people that had a wound, and they all took care of each other, and it was like this emotional, great movie. And within the walls, I wanted to do something contained. So in that one, I made for me, because normally I share the screen in all my movies. I don't know if you saw that. In most of my stuff, I share the screen. It's not just a movie, but I wanted to have a marketing tool for myself. So I created Within the Walls, and I created a thriller, a psychological thriller about a guy trapped forced to deal with his problems. And so he's trapped in a walled room, and he can't get out. And one by one, somebody's coming in, and they're also in there for another reason. They don't know why they're in there. And they're interacting. And then after he completes his task, they get rid of him, and they pull in someone else. And he's an MMA fighter, so he's having to fight these guys. It's weird. But anyways, there's level of message of faith in there. But it was more for just I wanted to do a psychological thriller. Well, and then I thought, I'll get to the end. And then after, I thought, I don't care about this stuff anymore. I want to do something that's wholesome for me. Okay. For the rest of my life. And that's where After came in. And I'm like, I'm going to spend the rest of my life making this thing if I have to. Because I love the concept.
All right. So what is After about?
After is about a group of fugitives that are left behind from the rapture.
And this is Eli Jenkins from Before It Happened.
From Before It Happened, yep.
Is the lead kind of.
Yeah, it's actually 2 characters, Eli Jenkins and Bobby Whitmore from the Before It Happened movie. Mm-hmm. They are left behind having to do police work. One knows the truth, the other one doesn't. And they basically, something happens. I don't want to ruin After, it's not out yet, but they basically get caught up with another group of fugitives, and they have to rely on each other to survive the last days. And they have to find their faith in God, and some do and some don't. But I wanted to make something that was seriously realistic, and I've always been a TV guy. And I just never had the guts to try to make TV.
Okay, so I was going to say, this After is completely different than your movies. This is a series, 8 episodes so far?
8 40-minute on the average episodes.
Okay.
30 to 40, depending on the episode. Like the real deal. Mm-hmm. So the stuff we grew up watching,